100 jobs in third layoff round this year. Shares jump. It laid off 600 employees. So this is the summary. CEO says debated making smaller reductions. Employees to get 5 months severance payment. Stockholm, December 4th, Reuters. Music streaming giant Spotify, Spot.N, said on Monday that it will lay off around 1,500 employees, or 17% of its workforce, to bring down costs, after letting 600 of its staff go in January and 200 more in June. Its U.S. listed shares soared about 11% to trade near their two-year highs of $200.46 in early trading. After a round of job cuts at the start of the year by tech companies, some have begun reducing their workforce again, with announcements coming from Amazon to Microsoft-owned LinkedIn. In a letter to employees, Spotify CEO Daniel Ek said the company hired more in 2020 and 2021 due to the lower cost of capital, and while its working output has increased, much of it was linked to having more resources. Spotify will incur about 130 million euros to 145 million euros in charges in its fourth quarter due to the layoffs, the company said, adding the majority of the cash components of these charges will be recorded in the first and second fiscal quarters of 2024. The firm said it now expects a fourth quarter operating loss between 93 million euros and 108 million euros, compared with the prior forecast of an operating profit of 37 million euros. Spotify invested more than $1 billion to build up its podcast business, signed up celebrities such as Kim Kardashian, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, and expanded its market presence in more countries in the world in its quest to reach a billion users by 2030. In the third quarter, the company swung to a profit, aided by price hikes in its streaming services and growth in subscribers in all regions. And the company forecast that its number of monthly listeners would reach 601 million in the holiday quarter. Ek told Reuters at the time the company was still focusing on efficiencies to get more out of each dollar. On Monday, he said reduction of this size will feel large given the recent positive earning report and its performance. By most metrics, we will be more productive but less efficient. We need to be both, X said. Oh, okay, so he's basically saying they were doing a lot more, but they were getting less return per dollar. The company will start informing affected employees on Monday. Employees will get about 5 months of severance pay, vacation pay, and healthcare coverage for the severance period. We debated making smaller reductions through 2024 and 2025, X said. Yet considering the gap between our financial goal state and our current operational costs, I decided that a substantial action to right-size our costs was the best option to accomplish our objectives. Makes sense to me. Like I say, a lot of these tech companies, they are very, very top-heavy, and top-heavy, back-end heavy, which tends to drag the entire company behind, because there's a lot of people that, while they do, of course, they are hardworking, the I guess incentives to be efficient are not there. So you come in, you do your base level of job, you don't question or change things or make them more efficient, and you leave. So what happens is you have a whole bunch of people that get piled on a single task, and every single person is doing just parts of that task, but nobody is thinking about the entire task, and so nothing gets more and more efficient. I've been on jobs like this before, where every single part, yes, everybody's doing an excellent job, but nobody is reviewing the entire project to figure out whether what the entire project is doing is efficient per dollar, is efficient per hour even.